Hi Scorpio, welcome to your November 2018 General Tarot reading. It's Rena here, and if you're looking for just a pure love reading, I actually have posted the November love reading for your sign. This is going to be a general focus, and I typically do one general reading and one relationship or just love reading a month. This past month in October, I actually did 2 love readings for October. So that was an experiment. I might do that again in November. We shall see. And I typically do mid-month general updates as well. So just to let you know. Happy birthday. Happy solar return. I hope that you have your wishes come true in the next 12 months. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Well, the first card I picked is certainly helpful for that. And the way my camera angle, it's not bending for me, so I hold the cards up anyway. It should be okay. Just want to let you know. And I noticed, see, I've been shuffling these cards like behind the camera here, but I have a card that's chipped, but now I just found out that I have a card that also has like some kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bubbling up, so I don't like that because I want to be able to, I'm not even looking at the cards as I'm picking them here because I don't want to pick the one that I got before. But yeah, you know, I hope that I'll be able to continue to use this deck. I think I shall, but I have to not look at it and whatever. But you have some great cards here. Wow. So it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because when you have your birthday month, and I know some of you are born in October, but maybe you're watching in October. Happy birthday to those born in October. It's you tend to feel a lot of good vibes when it's around your birthday time. The focus of this particular reading is the 10 of Cups. So this is marriage, a wedding. Maybe it's not even your wedding. Maybe it's your child's wedding. And you're just excited. You're helping them plan the wedding, or you just heard that they're getting married and you're just very happy. It's family joy. So that can feel like there's something to be happy about. I would even say, kind of in a connected way, if you found out that you're going to become grandparents. Because the number 10, when I think of that, I think of that kind of continuity of like a generation. Even, you know, a generation is like 20 years, I think. But I'm talking about the number 10 being the end of a cycle. So it's like, you know, you raise your children and then they have their children. And it just, the kind of love keeps this, there's a continuity of the love. The cups relate to emotions. So this is an emotional card with water sign energy swirling around it. And you're, of course, a water sign, but there's also Cancers that are water signs and Pisces. So if those people are involved, that would make sense. So it's a feeling of happily ever after, of maybe this relationship situation that you have always wanted. It could be in your own life too. But the point that I'm trying to make is I don't see this particularly in the realm of career. This seems much more about your relationships with other people, whether it be a spouse or an intended spouse or family matters. And the card that is at the basis of this is the 9 of Wands. So this can show the you know, the history of how this all came about. The Nine of Wands is a card of boundaries, of protection. And for some reason, I can think of even a situation where you are celebrating a divorce, ironically, because this may have been, I mean, I'm not saying like an order of protection, but something where people got together and they decided that they were going to not allow somebody to destroy their family. And maybe this is your spouse, but it could be your child's spouse. If they were with an abusive person and you were worried about their well-being. We have here the card that is the challenge card is the strength card. So in the challenge position, the strength card physically can indicate the immune system not being as good as it should be, or that maybe, and this could even be like because of like stress due to maybe some kind of turmoil, that it has taken a toll on the person's physical well-being. And it's not a question of anything necessarily permanent, but you have to probably balance yourself more if this is you, or, you know, be aware of potential issues that come up, because there may have been a stressful ordeal even, you know, that you just had to like power through, and it left you with some sort of adrenal fatigue or something because you're always running on that adrenaline. And now that it's over, you think, okay, everything's great. You know how it is when somebody is really under siege, and then when everything gets better, that's great, but that's the time when the body sometimes takes to like just totally have to regroup. And also, this could be a Leo person, so this may be the person that had to be checked, that had to be dealt with because they were a narcissist or, you know, whatever. And I have this feeling that this person fooled other members of the family or the social circle, and eventually people got the hint that this person was the culprit. Maybe they made themselves out to be so great, and you found out, other people found out after the fact. Maybe they were bad-mouthing you or something along those lines. But the point is, and also, if this is psychological or emotional, it could be suggesting that you still have inner work to do to bolster your self-esteem, because you may have come out of a situation and gotten rid of somebody who was very controlling from your life, but it's still not the cure or the answer, because in the future you're going to have to deal with setting boundaries, and so that people know. And you know, a lot of people, I think, misunderstand what that means. I don't think that ever means that you read somebody the riot act and tell them, okay, now this is what I, you know, will tolerate and this is what I won't tolerate. But you have it very much firmly in your mind. This is what I believe in, and this is what I think is appropriate treatment from others. And I don't have to tell them one thing. It's not about them. There's no debate about it. If they don't act a certain way, then they're not going to be in my life. And so it actually, I think it's better not to tell people, because there's sometimes when you tell people, well, I'm not willing to stand for this, you know, ahead of time, then they may try to fake it so that they can pretend that they're going to do what you want. And then when your guard is down, that's when they show their true colors. So anyway, so the point that I'm making is that, oh, you know, and here's another thing too with the Nine of Wands. This could be something, you know, this could be a career thing where you feel like you've reached the pinnacle of something, and this is emotional. This feels like it's not just about, wow, I feel good inside, I feel validated or something. It's really that you feel fulfilled. With the Nine of Cups, that's the wish fulfillment. With the Ten of Cups, to me, that joy, to me, it's showing that whatever it is that you're doing, if this is a professional situation, then I feel like you're healing other people. It's not just, oh gosh, look how smart I am and talented. It's really, I feel like I'm helping others. And that makes me feel fulfilled. And that makes me feel successful. And the only downside is that if it is like a intuitive art or like massage therapy or something like that, you may feel like you have to protect your energy or something because you're a natural empath. And, the number 10, and then we have the World card. These are both like kind of culminations and things like that. The World card can be a graduation. It can be the end of a chapter. So again, if you've just gotten divorced, if you've just gotten married, these are chapters in your life. Well, we know that Leo has been having lots of these beginnings and endings, haven't you? You're actually going to have another lunar eclipse happening in January. So it's possible that you've had like a lot of things that have changed already. But the bottom line is this idea of being able to see how life can end in a certain area and begin in a different area. And some areas that it begins, you had no idea, maybe 5 years ago, that you would even have this part of life. And with the World card being the spiritual message, I think it's asking you to reflect on any areas of your life where you feel like something is not, there's no closure there. I mean, I shouldn't say closure, but I mean you haven't tied up those loose ends. So maybe there's some friendship that you have decided is not really serving both of you, but the other person keeps calling, and maybe you still go out with them, and maybe you still do things, but you feel like it's time to end that. And it is a tricky situation, because I see with the Ten of Cups that you are really consumed by something emotionally. And so it's very hard to have this, especially let's say you're in your 20s or 30s and you have gotten married or you're about to get married. You may have friends that are single and they still expect you to go out all the time and do these things, and you're like in a different phase of your life. Maybe you're even welcoming a child into the world, and you have friends that are still living a single life and they just don't get it because they're not there. And even if they're close to 40, they may still never get it because they're not in that domestic scene. They can come and go as they wish, but you're like in a very good place emotionally. So it's not that you're looking for those kinds of connections right now. The point is that with the World card is to reflect on these things, and they may be draining your energy because you feel obligated to kind of keep them up, but you're not really that emotionally connected to them anymore. Boy, speaking of emotions, so we have the advice here, and this is the Five of Cups. I actually think this is a good depiction of the Five of Cups. So you can see that the horse is hanging his head down. So it is supposed to indicate, disappointment, sorrow, if it's, extreme disappointment. It's like relationships that have ended that you're mourning the loss of. So again, it doesn't have to be necessarily something with a love partner. This could be, just what I said, that you feel very happy. There's something that's making you feel very happy. So whether it's that you're getting married or you're having a child, or that your child, your son or daughter is having a child, but something else is falling by the wayside perhaps. And because you are an emotional person, you feel that loss too. It's not that you are oblivious to it. So you may mourn the loss of something while still at the same time enjoying something happy and new. That is, I mean, with the Ten of Cups, it's not about necessarily, it could be like good news that's on the emotional front, the relationships front, but I think it's like just kind of the culmination of perhaps other things that have been going on. You've been anticipating that you were going to eventually get married, and now it's time for that. Or that your child, maybe your child got married last year and now they're going to tell you that you're a grandparent, and you're ecstatic about that because that's something that is going to make you feel needed and fulfilled, and that's what is very important to you. Okay, that's wonderful. But some people like, well, why would there be this sadness in the midst of all this joy? Because that's how life is. I think a lot of Scorpios understand that, though. I don't think that you're the kind of person that's like, oh no, what's coming in is represented by the Star card. See, now here's another great card. I always thought of this as wish fulfillment, your dreams coming true. But it's really also, isn't that beautiful, that design with the pop of color there? The Star card is about feeling a sense of hope. Now, this implies that the person has gone through quite a lot. Again, I mentioned the Strength card. And therefore, it's like you've come out the other end and you have hope restored in your life. Maybe this has to do with a new relationship, and the Strength card is that old relationship, or the Nine of Wands is that old relationship, and you have felt like now you have somebody who really understands you and appreciates you. Or you're doing work that feels like you're helping others. It's not just self-aggrandizement. It's something that really makes you feel happy inside. Or you're retired and you have a child that's having a baby, and you feel like, it's nice to have someone to dote on again. Just like when you were a parent. The outcome, the Four of Pentacles. This is a card associated with financial, sound financial management. So if this is like a job situation, it's like you have financial security. If this is a marriage situation, the two of you help each other to be in a place where you both have that kind of financial well-being. And it's also important to look at this card, the Four of Pentacles, because the number 4 as the foundation of something that leads to something with substance. Pentacles are associated with money and health and, the body and things that are tangible, like the body and money, and things like, if it's the job, it's like you can go to that job. It's not something theoretical, like your choice of career, but the actual physical workplace, for instance. But it feels like you have grounded into reality your dreams. And maybe that's the parting gift of Jupiter in your sign. I don't know. I was watching another astrologer and they're saying at the very end of the transit it's very potent for those gifts. So I'm like, okay, well that's nice. So, and it's in your sign. So I hope that, that certainly comes true for you on all fronts. And happy birthday once again, Scorpio. If you'd like a personal reading, if you'd like a natal chart interpretation, and looking at the astrological trends for the coming year using your personal chart, please click on the link below for my online store. Otherwise, have an awesome month of November.